Hey, Fox here. Today I got a review of Le'Veon Bell's 95 overall halfback card. Alright, so 92 speed, 95 agility, 94 acceleration. He can move side to side pretty nicely. He feels very nice in the joystick. Straight ahead speed though, he will be caught. Carrying 95. When he was on my roster, I had him up to 98 carrying because I have Steelers training chem and Steelers this and that and all that stuff. Spin move 93, elusiveness 93, trucking 80, 93 juke. So basically the only thing wrong with this card is trucking and the fact that fumbles just happen in this game. His catching stats are very solid, very, I guess, above average for running back, but still his catching, it feels still disrespectful. Like, he is essentially like a wide receiver out there, and for some reason they don't feel like putting halfback catching stats very high. I don't know what it is with EA, but they just don't feel like respecting him very much. Although that's not to say he's gonna drop a bunch of balls for you. He's still gonna catch on to them, but like in traffic, if you run a lot of halfback angle routes, maybe Le'Veon isn't the one for you. But running this game, now, do I think this is the best back in the game? No. I think there are a few better than him. We'll get to it right now. No, Bo Jackson, I prefer over this card. Trucking, I think, is better. I think the trucking, juke, the spin, everything that Bo has is better than this Le'Veon Bell. I think Barry Sanders is better than this card just because he's faster, and he's also got all the tier 1 moves besides for trucking, just like Le'Veon. Because after you hit those thresholds, yeah, it helps you like maybe fool them or beat their awareness check or whatever the calculation is. The higher elusiveness, spin, juke, whatever, you're gonna get the tier 1 moves on all of them. But I think just having higher stats helps you get a little bit better. Can we get to maybe the trucking back we get there? Like, so that's really the biggest issue with the Le'Veon card. There's nothing wrong with this card outside of the fact that if you're head-on-head with somebody, you could essentially do like a speed juke potentially and get trucked and broken or win it. Or, I mean, with the more bigger backs, you can just run them right over. Whereas like side to side, if you're running a lot of stretches, inside zones that you bounce outside, that kind of stuff, Le'Veon Bell, just like that, especially if the computer controlling him, he'll make him look foolish. I love that card. He felt great. Great running tosses, stretches, inside zones out there, running sideline to sideline. Much more of a horizontal runner. I don't think his running style, though, if we're going to talk about Le'Veon Bell himself, is well represented in Madden, just because the way he moves and the way Madden's blocks are done. So Madden, look at, like, when you see that, the way that they get a stop on defense is through block sheds. Like, there's no, like the gap responsibilities is cool and all, but when everybody's basically hat on a hat, it kind of does the gap responsibilities dirty because they're just like straight up. You just got to pick which one way or the other they go. So the gap responsibilities aren't like the perfect way of stopping the run. You basically got to hope for block sheds. So in real life, the block sheds, like on a run, they're still kind of like head up a little bit. You know, there's some clear block sheds, but in Madden, because the block sheds completely get rid of the offensive lineman, you can't really like run off their tails, because if you're on the back of an offensive lineman in Madden, you're going to trip up. There's that trip animation. Once you get that trip animation, you're pretty much done for. So that's not what you look. That's not the style of running back you got here, and that's not really one that I expect them to be able to program very easily, because to be patient with the ball is tough to do. Like, it is very important on one edge to be patient, not to hit sprint right away. Don't hit right trigger right away. One, they're going to block shed better according to the devs, and two, you're going to outrun your blockers a lot of times. So you're kind of getting a double whammy there. Whereas like right there, I think I'm holding trigger, but I did a little spin there and got away from a couple guys. So outside of that, basically everything about this card, though, I think if you're a Le'Veon Bell fan, you're going to like the card. I don't know. I had fun with it, but I think the biggest issue I had with it, look at these plays. Like, he's just making them. Stiff arm, he's got them all. The stiff arm is 93. I don't know if I said that. So the biggest issue with this card is fumblings, like just what you saw. 98 carrying I had him up to, and he still fumbled very frequently. One might be due to me actually using him more than I maybe used and I should have used him. So I would have him run for 2 plays, sometimes 3 plays in a row, and I think that's too much. That's too much for running backs in MUT, or in Madden maybe in general. I don't really play regs or DC or salary cap. So in MUT, running the card over and over, you're going to get a fumble. Don't do that. That's why guys who run hurry up, it's very fun to play against them, because they're going to get tired and you're going to pop them out near the goal line and get a fumble turnover if they can drive you down on you that far and that fast. So otherwise, I mean, I think he's fine besides for that. The problem is, like, there was a few game stretch there where he was fumbling twice a game, and if it wasn't him, maybe it was another running back that would fumble along with him. But I was getting multiple fumbles a game with this card, and And 98 carrying, that's seriously embarrassing. Where like Adrian Peterson, I'd be trucking dudes with Adrian Peterson and not giving up fumbles. So you need a heavy rotation back. So this Le'Veon Bell, I would think you want to put him with somebody like that flashback Marshawn Lynch, the Adrian Peterson like I talked about, or even Bo Jackson if you want to stud, and then put Le'Veon Bell as woo. He could fly there with that 90 jumping. We don't have that jumping anymore in 18 like we had at the goal line glitch, the Jimmy jump at the 17, beginning of 17. They ended up nerfing it. But so what was I talking about before that? Before I moved on to the jumping. Oh yeah, a complimentary back. Get somebody that can like pound the ball, pound the rock, get a high trucker there, and this Bell can be like your third down back or your change of pace. And I think you'd absolutely love it. The problem with this Bell is that he's very similar to the LaDainian Tomlinson, and I'm assuming we're gonna get a Tomlinson upgrade at least soonish, because right now they're actually pretty close to each other. So the next Tomlinson upgrade is gonna beat this Bell, I think, just a little bit. Well, maybe quite a bit, depending on how high they go. But overall, like, so I haven't done the power up Bell yet. Haven't used him. I don't think I'm going to power him up because I think it's a waste of coin. But this Bell, I did really like this card. The only issue being the trucking and the lack of real Le'Veon Bellness. But out of 10, I did like it. 9.2. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.